Welcome back, everyone, to the Finders Flippers Resell Podcast episode, Johnny.
47?
Yes, can you believe that? Episode 47.
Guys, did you like how I tried to sneak in the thumbnail on the last one, just very casually. I saw the video post and realized I forgot to do a thumbnail, and I was like, crap, I got to slide that in. But yeah, guys, 47. Hope everybody had a great Christmas.
Happy It's coming on New Year's Day, my friend. New Year's Day.
Finders Flippers podcast or college football bowl games. Decisions. But we know, as of right now, 202 of you will be watching us instead of college bowl games. So thanks to our subscribers. Happy New Year. Happy New Year's, guys.
Happy New Year.
Did you guys do some Dollywood activity?
Amy and one of my daughters and then their friends went to Dollywood one day, but I stayed home and actually did a Whatnot show.
Oh.
I'll have to say Whatnot, I've done 3 shows now in the last week and a half, and I mean, really, really good shows. So I may have to give it another try as far as becoming regular.
Start screaming back into Whatnot in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and of course, I got lucky and found the right stuff to sell too. I mean, that's, if you can bring good stuff, I think you'll sell it. But it's just hard to consistently refill the coffers to, keep having shows like that. But yeah, basically I bought 15,000 postcards probably. And they're like really, really good postcards. And, had one show that actually did over $1,000. So
yeah, that's insane, man.
Yeah,
it was pretty crazy. Then my wife and I went back out to the same place where we got the postcards today and picked up a bunch more like ephemera type items. Not really as many postcards, but just some cool stuff. So,
was that your best show?
Well, no, my brother found all, I don't know if I may have mentioned it before on the show. He found all those political buttons at a yard sale one time.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking, he had thousands of political buttons going back to the early 1900s. And I think he said he paid $40 for them. So he just let me give him 20. And then we split the results of the show. And in 2 different shows, I think we did over $3,000. But yeah, it was, that was like, those shows were like printing money. It's just one, like I said, you have good stuff, and those things were just so cool. And a lot of hard to find, I guess, buttons and stuff.
Yeah, that's like the nice thing I think about that type of stuff on Whatnot, versus like clothes where, no one's buying pallets, in the same way of like new with tag stuff. Like, if you got good stuff in ephemera, like you got good stuff,
Well, and the other really nice thing, especially with the postcard, doing postcards over even just like general ephemera is so nice because they're all the same size. Somebody can, buy a stack this high, but it's still just, putting them into 4 equal stacks and wrapping them up and putting them in a box. And
how many did you sell, Stuart?
I don't know how many postcards I sold actually, but I've probably still got enough left for 3 or 4 more shows. The next show I'm doing general ephemera, then I'm doing another postcard show on the 7th, I guess, whatever the next Friday after that is. No, that'd be the 10th. So I'm taking a little break from postcards, although I did a pop-up today. But yeah, who remembers, y'all used to collect these when you were kids? Maybe not Johnny, but because a little older, like the old pennants.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I got a bunch of like these. I think they're from either the 40s or 50s. Like here's a Florida or Forbidden Caverns up in DeVierville and Lake Lure. That's one of the ones that went underwater during Helene, I think, isn't it? Went in Lake Lure, one of the places that was.
Isn't that kind of where they filmed Dirty Dancing, Lake Lure?
I don't know. I thought that was like
I think so.
Mountain Lake or something like that, but Mountain Lake, Virginia. I think. Remember
I was going to say. I think the place they stayed at was in Virginia.
Yeah, I think it was Mountain Lake. It's either Mountain Lake or Smith Mountain Lake. I actually went on a business trip. We stayed at that place. Remember this one, Wes? Pre-Dollywood.
Oh, yeah.
Visit Knoxville.com.
Yeah.
Well, remember I showed you the pendant I had.
Yeah,
remember?
yours was it was Gold Rush Junction, then Silver Dollar City, then Dollywood, right?
Remember before Gold Rush, though, what was it? A little history lesson again.
Man, what was it before Gold Rush?
Rebel Railroad.
That's right.
So there you go, Johnny. Visit again. Which, Johnny, I don't know if you saw this the other day. Dollywood had a little bit of excitement on the Thunderhead wooden roller coaster. People got stopped at the top of it.
Oh, no.
What was that? I didn't read that.
Yeah, and they had to. They were showing videos on TikTok. People walking down the steep incline of it.
Ooh.
So, I don't want any part of that. I'm just too old.
I know that Amy saw something on the news today or on the internet that at Dollywood they were recommending that you not even try to make it to the park. You park off like in Pigeon Forge and take a shuttle. I mean, it must have been a real zoo today, but
Maybe you didn't hear even further. They were turning people away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they wasn't letting them in. It's done. They're at capacity, which is good for Dollywood, I guess.
Yeah.
But man, what a mess.
Leave Sevierville and visit Knoxville.com. So
I can't believe, what do you go on all the rides still? It's like January.
well, they do close. It depends on how warm it is. Like it was warm here today. It was like 60.
Yeah, it's like 60, 65 degrees today. It wasn't bad at all.
But once it gets down below I think it's around 42 and lower or something, they have to close a lot of the roller coasters and stuff. So
yeah. My roller coaster days, Johnny, are waning anyway.
I have not been on a roller coaster in a long time.
Blazing Fury's about my speed now, Wes. That's
Yeah.
Of course,
I can still do the Blazing Fury. But yeah. You get off and everything's still spinning and you're just like, wait a minute. Stop the world.
So how would you all rate your 2024 from a reselling standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic. We found out last week that we are in the top 1% of women's clothing sellers on eBay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Of course, I saw something on one of the Facebook groups that like everybody got a message.
Everybody got that?
The top 1% of something. So, but congratulations, Johnny.
Yeah.
You will take it however you get it, Johnny.
Yeah, well, it was funny because like a bunch of people had posted that on their Instagram. So we messaged one of them and was like, hey, where did you see that? And they were like, oh, it was in our messages from eBay. So we went and we're like, yep, there it is.
2024 has been a lot better than the previous 2 years as a reseller. Been a whole lot more choosy, I guess, this time around this year. And I'm finishing strong. The last 3 days, I've put up several new postings. So I'm trying to increase as much as I can.
You really put those Beanie Babies to work for you in 2024.
Hey, we can say whatever we want to about it, but you know what? At least half of them are gone right now anyway. So 2025, here we come with a new method of getting rid of the rest of them.
Wes, if you went to an estate sale this weekend and saw a whole bin of them, would you buy them again?
No, I would
What
pass.
if they were 50 cents a piece?
No. See, Johnny, let me be real clear. Growth has taken place. I've listened. I may sound aloof a lot, but I have paid attention and I've listened. Quite a bit, and I've learned. So,
I mean, I will say if I could find them for 50 cents a piece, I probably would buy them because they do sell for relatively well in the booth. But I do have that outlet for them.
Yeah, well, you do, and I don't. So, but yeah, we'll have to have another one, Stuart, our next drop off. Of course, I don't know where you're at on the rest of them. How many you got left?
I don't know
Do you know?
count wise. I do have some more money for you though. I know I've sold some more since we last met.
All right.
Yeah, but I mean, my 2024, it's funny because I was down like 4% year over year from last year to this year at the end of November. I'm now up 6%.
Oh, dang.
I mean, like December, it's been the best month I've ever had by like a couple of $1,000, which
Wow.
is just, I mean, and there's a couple of factors in that. I mean, the whatnot shows I had with these postcards have certainly helped. And then we sold that $1,300 mid-century modern shelf, which was, a huge sale for us.
Mm-hmm.
But really, I mean, no matter how you slice it, it's to beat our previous month by so much as, hopefully that momentum will carry over into 2025.
Yeah, I just looked. We're having a better December than we did November, actually, which is surprising. And that's with the store being shut down. We shut the store down when we flew out because I didn't want to come home and have orders to ship the day after Christmas and just kind of stress out. So I shut our stores down until Christmas Eve. So it was slow initially, but it started to pick up actually on Christmas.
Do y'all have any particular New Year's resolutions related to reselling?
One of mine is, and I'm already started, I was just talking about listing. I'm staying adamant about that. I'm going to keep doing it every day. I like to look backwards for where we were. If you remember back in March, we kicked this podcast back up again. We kind of knocked the dust off of it and we came back to life. Wow, guys, it's been a great 2024 for us since March,
Yeah. I mean, we've definitely, I think, picked up some momentum, and I don't know about y'all, but I'm willing to keep it going in 2025. So
yeah, I think consistency's been the key. We've had some awesome guests come on, so shout out and thanks to everybody who's actually shown face on our channel. But it's been pretty solid. I think staying consistent with it, not allowing Wes to shut us down for 6 months,
But if you remember though, Johnny, back in March, I said, all right, guys.
You did, buddy.
I'm dedicated and I'm
You
sticking
said
to it.
No, and a big kudos to you, Wes, because I know it hasn't been easy because you're extremely busy. A lot busier outside of, this reselling stuff than either Johnny or I are, with all the reffing and all the other extracurricular you have going on. So, yeah, I mean, I appreciate you making the time to do it with us.
I appreciate you guys as well. I mean, all three of us got things going on in our world. If you want something done, you give it to a busy person, right? So we're all making it happen. And I love it.
Well, Stuart and I didn't believe that you were that busy, so that's why we had to send Stuart out to watch you in action and make sure you were really working.
Yeah, I don't think he's really doing what he says he's doing.
I was like, Stuart, go check on that.
I was able to report back to Johnny, well, he is working, believe it or not. So it'll be interesting to see, just speaking about the podcast, we just hit 200 subscribers. I think we're up to maybe 202, 203 now. As of December 30th, so with a day left to go in the year. So we'll have our live sometime in the next couple of weeks. So everybody watch for the channel. We'll post it before we actually do the lives. So hope to see a lot of you there. So looking forward to that. And then just be interesting to see, can we, I don't know what our goal will be as far as subscribers or views or, to get our 17-cent checks or anything like that. But, maybe we can. Do you remember back to the first year? Where were we subscriber wise when we started in 2024?
To start the year, we had 29 subs.
Okay. So well under 100. Maybe we can double our subscribers in 2025 and, hit 400. That'll still leave us 100 short of, still leaves 100 short of being monetized. But, maybe.
The amount of people that have come on and been our guest, this year, 2024, just listening to them, pulling the information from them. And not only that, but letting the viewers hear it as well, to me has been a big help for me personally, I know, as far as being a reseller. We had the name respelling,
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how many how the viewer count on that Dolphin channel dropped once we changed our names.
Yeah, they haven't rented a pontoon since. So we went from November. It was November 8th. We hit 29. We didn't hit 30 until April 3rd.
So November 29th, a year ago, not 2024, 2023. So then we've grown from 29 or so to the 200
202
in the past, 9 months then, or 8 months. So and a big thanks to everybody who subscribed. And I know that we get a lot of interaction with comments and likes and stuff. So, hopefully y'all enjoy what we're doing. I know this format's tough on YouTube. Just, 3 people or 3 people plus some guests talking around. We're not, picking up stuffed animals in a thrift shop, but.
One of the things that got my wife into reselling was just the fact that she could kind of come and go as she pleased and, was an entrepreneur, right? But didn't have to be tied down to like going into an office or a brick and mortar or anything like that. So all of a sudden, over the course of the last week, she has this burning desire to like open a thrift store. Right. So I'm like, no, like, but she's like, I don't really want to run it. I just want to stock it and set it. She wants to play house essentially while someone else runs.
Why don't you just rent a booth and give her a little taste of it?
So I said, if you really want to do this, if this is part of like the Frizzy Finds empire, I said, we will open a booth. And you have to keep it stocked consistently for at least 6 months before I'll even make this an actual conversation. So now her new thing is she's all hyped up to run a booth. Knowing my wife, 6 to 10 days she'll lose interest in it, and we can go on and we can just go on with our lives. But there is this moment where she wants a booth.
And I will say, Amy and I talked about buying a building at one time and maybe opening our own antique mall. But, ultimately, I thought about it and it came down to, as soon as you own the place, whether you have people working for you or not, it's your responsibility. You're going to have to be there all the time. Finding good help's hard. So, with what I pay for rental at 3 booths, I could probably lease a building pretty easily. But, I still think, for me anyway, the boosts have been the way to go. And, I will say it's very addictive. So you may find if she does get into it, you may find her going the opposite direction. You may be opening a second or a third location, but that does at least scratch that itch a little bit about wanting to like have a place to put stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's fun to think a year ahead from now, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at 3 booths this time next year, and we're talking about. You never know. That's just the way life is.
We just instead of going into being a Knoxville podcast, we just become an antique booth podcast. My goal is to be the Beanie Baby King of Greensboro.
I got something to get you started.
Thanks.
We'll ship you a few out. Get you some seeds going.
What, Stuart's selling those bad boys at $5 a pop? I'm in.
Yeah. So, you can consistently do that,
it's just a printing press.
Right. At that point, you're just printing money.
Yeah, as we've said in the video, I've laundered tens of dollars now through that whole baby enterprise there.
That video still cracks me up, man. He goes, "Oh yeah, I can launder tens of dollars of these." We'll have to come up with another one.
So, Johnny, do y'all have any like specific goals as far as like new platforms? It sounds like an antique, or not necessarily an antique, but a booth of some sort is in the works.
Yeah, I think our goal for this year is to not get banned on any platforms. we want to come in and out. So, funny story, nobody knows this. When we were in Indianapolis for Christmas, we opened up a new Depop store from her parents' house, so that way all the IP addresses would be different, and all of that. Because we tried to get a VPN here, because we went online and was like, how do we get a store back? And everybody was like, get a VPN. So we got a VPN, kept trying to set up Depop accounts, and it kept saying, no. And so we were at her parents' house, set up an email on her mom's laptop, created a Depop account on her mom's laptop. So it was all through her mom, right? So we get back home, log into, and I put it on my work phone. So it's like, it's nothing, whatever. Had a sale. We were like, oh my God, this is amazing.
We're back.
Went to go print the label, banned. Banned.
See, now you got her mom banned.
So we have not cracked the Depop code yet.
You and Lizzie are probably on a pair of wanted posters at the headquarters.
I'm waiting to get a knock at the door. You've been served.
Okay, there's our thumbnail for this one. Depop, and just put your most wanted. You and Lizzie.
Double secret probation.
But we literally set up the account, put 5 things on it, and one sold in like 2 hours. And we were like, we're back, baby. Soon as we got back to North Carolina, it must have pinged our house and was like, nope.
Oh, that's something maybe I need to do in 2025, get myself on Depop.
Oh, so man, I'll be jealous.
So you get banned as well?
Yeah, so I can be banned. That way we're all wiped out. So
they'll send you a message and say, we see you have an affiliation with Reselling.
Listen, Slim Flippers, we know who you are. We know who you're associated with. You're done.
I was like, dang it. No, but I think our goal for the year is like, we've really kind of turned this into like a legit business. And I think we need to kind of like just step our game up as business owners. Like we created an LLC, but like we never linked it to anything. And, so everything still just runs off of my name and my social versus the LLC that we created. We never created a business account. So everything just filters through, our joint account. So I think like, because we're going to do almost $100,000 in sales just on eBay this year. And so for us, it's really like kind of stepping our game up, just from the business side, getting more organized, streamlining things. Like right now, Lizzie photographs in the spare bedroom. We store everything in the basement, and we print all our labels in the living room. So we literally use all 3 floors of the house to run our business. Right. When it's like you're like, some mom and pop coffee shops don't do that much money a year. So like You got to start to streamline things a little bit.
Do one of those motion studies on y'all to find out how many wasted steps y'all have with all your.
It's insane. And if the spare bedroom, like Lizzie is the least organized person in the entire world. Now she'll tell you this, but she has so much stuff upstairs that's just in piles that's listed, that when we go to pull orders, she's upstairs for a half hour going through piles of clothes to find what's sold.
Well, the clutter is the thing that I'm wanting to try my best in 2025 to eliminate as much as possible. Even on my phone, I look back today, and I saw some things that I had listed. I never took them off my phone. Just left them. So I'm just going through delete. So I'm really wanting to streamline, like you said, Johnny, my processes and things I'm trying to do to expedite my business model. I mean, it's not as big as yours, obviously, because you all do a lot more than I do, but still.
I think going back to what you said, Wes, one of my goals, I've done a really good job the last quarter of just listing. I mean, more than I ever have. And, and I mean, it sounds cliche to say, you got to list more to sell more, but it's, whether it's speeding the algorithm or whatever you want to call it, it just seems like, I mean, I track like the percentage of sales to percentage listed. I mean, and it seems like no matter how little or much I list, that percentage stays pretty consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So, it goes without saying, if you list more, then you sell more. And so that's probably my number one goal because it's, I used to always have goals of like, I'm going to beat revenue last year by, 15, 20%. Well, that's easy when you're not making much, but, once you get up to, $100,000, that gets a whole lot harder to 20%. You've really either got to you got to find a new revenue stream or, and I used to, like, I added those jams and jellies one year. I added the antique booths one year, or, had like 3 years in a row, added a new antique booth, but I feel like I'm at the place where I can't add another one of those without stretching myself too thin. I'd love to get in Sevierville though, because I've heard we've used the term printing money. I mean, the tourist traffic through there is just so big.
Yeah, I think that would be fantastic to have a spot there.
I think it's hard. I think there's waiting list. I think the waiting list at all the Sevierville, especially on the Parkway going into Sevierville, I think they're all pretty long. But I need to just go up there and get my name on a waiting list, and then I can decide if I want to do it. I could always drop one of my other locations, but then I sit there and think, which one do I want to drop if I were to do that? So,
but you have two down there in West Knoxville that are kind of close to each other, Yeah,
they're a mile and a half apart, so those aren't really a big deal. And I mean, I do, Clinton historically is my best performing one, so I don't really want to drop it. So, I mean, I would probably, if I were to go to Sevierville, I'd probably just add it as a fourth location. It would probably just be one that I would only go up there once or twice a month and just take a bunch of stuff and really, cram it full and let it sell down. But it really caters to the kind of stuff that I sell too, because you're getting so many tourists. So people aren't buying furniture and big things. They're looking for small knickknacks. And that's really what I specialize in. So I think it would be a good match.
Well, not only that, Stuart, it's a year-round thing,
Yeah.
You're selling stuff year-round up there. It does not stop. There's never a lull in that area up there.
No, you're right. I mean, and it's just to put in perspective how much traffic they get, and we may have mentioned this when we had Pat D's, I guess, when we talked about Buc-ee's. That one at Sevierville's the busiest Buc-ee's in the whole country. So, so yeah, maybe I need to make that my goal for this year and just do it. And, but yeah, anybody watching, if y'all have reselling goals for the year, put them in the comments. Maybe we can motivate each other to get things done in 2025.
It's also hard to think of ways to grow the business, because you think just buy more, but you're not necessarily we buy the good stuff already. So if we bought more, it would be lesser quality stuff or lesser resale value stuff. So it's hard to just say if I double my listings, I'll double my money or whatever it is. Because you kind of hit a point where I know for us, if it's good, we buy it.
Yeah.
And so then it's do you start to get into other niches, and then do you want to do that? Would you enjoy doing that?
Well, and that's the same. That's kind of the fear I have with a fourth booth. Can I get enough quality stuff to keep 4 locations stocked?
I mean, if it was me, I would look at one of those 2 Knoxville locations, closing that down and moving the other one up to Sevierville.
Yeah.
I mean, because you are so close to each other,
Yeah. It's just, I do really, really well at all 3. So, and it just depends on, I mean, like this month, the last 2 months, I mean, my sourcing, and then once again, it goes back to relationships that we've talked about in the past on the show. I've had so many people call me. If you could see like around me right now, I mean, I cleaned out a house of a lady who was moving out of it. And I mean, I've got just so much stuff to get listed or taken to the booth. And then was fortunate enough to find that farmhouse up in East Tennessee where I've bought all this ephemera. And it's just trying to consistently, like Johnny said, keep that sourcing consistent so you can keep the listing consistent, because it's easy to say, I'm going to list every day and list a lot every day. But if you can't find the stuff, you don't have it to list, then, you can't do it.
True. But I go back and I'm all these things I'm listing now. I'm like, why have I not sold that? Well, it's not listed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's why it hasn't sold. So I've been doing a lot of that here, either, in between my games and stuff. I've got some time this week. So I've been going through my death pile, I guess, and really trying to get things going.
I'm still convinced eBay takes listings down.
You think?
Well, eBay does all kind of weird stuff. If you,
not necessarily on purpose, but whether they do some kind of an update, and it's just
I mean, it's funny. My brother and I used to talk a lot. We would both have examples of things that, so you might have a quantity of like 5 of something. It's been sitting out there for a year and a half without selling one. And in the course of 2 days, you sell all 5 of them. What are the odds that just all of a sudden 5 people want that? So, so there's somehow eBay's pushing this stuff. Now I will say one of the best things I did this year on Etsy was they have, like, you can pre-opt into their sales, and like they have like 4 or 5 big sales a year. And if you opt into them early, you can go in and set up your percentage, and they give you a recommended percentage, but you can do whatever you want. But then if you opt into them by a certain date, they say, we'll promote your store going up, to the time leading up to the sale. And the Etsy sales have been like really, really good for me this year, as far as the amount of stuff I've sold. Etsy's probably been my business that's grown the most of all the platforms. eBay's still number one and probably always will be. You look at the number of buyers on eBay versus, it's like got more than all the other platforms put together. Poshmark's the one that's just been, I quit promoting on Poshmark because I wasn't selling that much, not enough to justify like even promoting at the lowest level. But once I quit promoting, I literally sell like one thing every 2 weeks now. So I'll stay on there just because, List Perfectly makes it easy to cross post, and the Poshmark's one of the probably like least time consuming ones. It literally adds 15 seconds to the process. So I guess I'll keep doing it, but it's like, I guess it's just the kind of stuff I sell. It's not really that great for Poshmark.
Well, plus you have to play that game, right? Like you have to share your closet.
Well, I do all that because List Perfectly does have all that sharing built into it now. Mm-hmm. Like they share and they follow for you. And so all that part's taken care of. And I get follows back and I get messages, this many people followed your closet this week, and, you're on this great listing streak, but it doesn't translate into sales. So, I don't know if anybody out there watching has any like tips or tricks outside of promoting to increase your Poshmark sales, because I'm not going to throw I think the minimum you can do is like $3 maybe a day or something. But, it was just, I would have $100 and something in promotion, and $40 in related sales.
Yeah. So, we don't promote at all.
Of course, but you're doing clothes, which is, what Poshmark is.
Yeah.
I'm doing, collectible stuff. And, but I used to sell quite a bit on Poshmark, actually, even before I promoted. Then they because they didn't have promotion. Then they, you could opt into like the beta on the promoting, and I did that, and I still sold some stuff. And then it's just like, I guess once everybody started promoting, it buried me back down, in the heap. So,
well, that's the whole debate with promoting, right? Like even on eBay, if everybody's promoting, then that's the new, that's the new level.
I'll tell you the new promotion I started on eBay that's worked really well is the offsite promotion. I think
What's that?
So, eBay's got 3 kinds of promotion that you can do. There's the one like at the listing level where you can say, where you put in the percentage when you list the item. Offsite promoting, and that's where they push you to show up in more Google searches and things like that. And so I said, well, I'm going to try this and see if it works. So I think now I'm doing like $11 a day, but it never spends that much, but it's up to 11. Yeah. And I mean, I've sold a ton of stuff through the offsite promotions. So for now, I'm going to keep doing it and, just keep an eye on it. The way I look at it, I have certain margin targets I want to hit. And, as long as I hit those, then I don't mind doing the promotions.
So, Johnny, what do you think? A new logo for the Finder Flippers Resale Podcast in 2025?
Yeah. We'll have to decide on what kind of a theme that we might want or what we have in mind. And then I can pay somebody on Fiverr to create some options for us. Like, do we want cartoony or, something similar to what we have now, totally different, just kind of decide that.
I personally think cartoony would be cool.
Like with the 3 of us and some kind of headshots of the cartoons built into the logo, maybe,
we could
not actual pictures, but characters.
Like binoculars trying to find her flipper.
I know you can do some stuff with Canva, and then I think they also have options when you go into Canva to contact, other companies that do it. I mean, Amy did our logo.
Yeah, because they do, on Canva, they do have, I just changed that generically, but there are, things on here.
Yeah, but thing like that, if you could get all 3 of us on there somehow, that'd be cool. Kind of our heads grouped together, Well, if you can pull it off, that'd be cool to kind of, on our live, bring it out,
So
I'll play with it.
So to summarize our goals for 2025 with the podcast, it'd be 500 subscribers. It would be a new logo. And
but like y'all said, look where we were, 29 subscribers 9 months ago,
And, you would think the subscriber thing would be somewhat exponential versus just a linear thing. I mean, the more subscribers you get, the next thing's to figure out how to translate subscribers into views. Our views are consistently higher. It's like we need to now take it, we're getting consistently 100 to 130 views per episode.
Yeah.
How do we now take that next step? And I know just getting new subscribers will help that some, but logic tells you if you have 200 subscribers, maybe you should get at least 200 views. But, I know that not every, I'm subscribed to channels that I never watch. So, I get that. Right. Johnny said it earlier. I think as long as we stay consistent, keep filming episodes every week, do the occasional lives, at certain subscriber counts. Well, and it is nice with that new feature they have where if you create playlists, you can now they'll automatically show up on YouTube Music. Now, I don't know who all listens to YouTube Music versus your Spotify's and Apple Music and those, but at least it's another outlet for us potentially to be found. Mm-hmm. And it is nice. You can do exactly what you said. You can just, queue them up where they just play one right after the others. Right. People can, at least have it on as background noise. And so, Samantha, if you're watching, you can now go out to YouTube Music, look for us a podcast, and you can just stream all 40, however many episodes we have, right in a row. So,
and Johnny, another one we need to do is have a picture of Sturt. Say I got the Sturts.
Well, we definitely. I am going to work on getting a shirt done for that. You saw Dawn. She says I want one. So
she guess I want.
She came up with it, so we'll have to get her one for sure.
Then we need to get some.
Well, we need to get the new logo first. So once Johnny gets the new logo, then
I'm just saying we can. Yeah.
We can probably do some. Maybe we can do some coffee mugs or some things we can give away at lives. Because you can, I know, on whatever the one I use for business cards. I mean, they have certain mugs that don't have any minimums, and they're not real expensive. So once we have once we have a new logo and everything, we can maybe make some up. That we need to get a saying for each of us. So yeah, we'll
got the sturts.
Hey, Don, work on that. Come up with the
Yeah, help us out, Don.
One for Wes and Johnny too. There.
Yep.
It looks like there's some like Canva add-ons that you can do, and there's like a character maker. We might be able to do this on our own.
All right.
I have faith in you, Johnny, because you have put up some fantastic thumbnails for us, my friend. I have faith in you.
Yeah, I'll play with it. I figure it's probably all somebody on Fiverr would do anyways.
Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, no problem. And then it's like, yeah.
Thanks. Appreciate you.
But I do think what I was going to say before, like, I think even like improving on the titles that would draw in like resellers, like we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, like nobody's searching, Johnny West Stewart, right? So just having those titles, and then all of a sudden people are like, oh, I like these guys. And,
Right.
They might be searching for Stewart though.
Stewart.
No, I mean, I think our titles and descriptions have gotten better, but yeah, sometime I am guilty of still using our names or whatever, rather than using keywords.
Well, looking back on 2024, I think some of my funniest moments, of course, is all the bloopers that we've had in our videos. One of my favorite ones, though, is when Johnny said he needed to go back to school.
When we were trying to play Mad Libs or whatever.
Yeah. He goes, I need to go back to school. Learn what an adjective is.
That was the most uncomfortable I've ever been on any of our episodes. I was like, yeah, I'll play a game.
Yeah,
and
sure. If I mention Mad Libs again, y'all call in sick that day.
And then at one part, you said to her, I need an adjective. And Johnny just very simply goes, uh-oh. He's like, uh-oh, I'm in big trouble.
I'm like, come on, man.
So if y'all missed that episode, roll it back. I think it was episode 45, maybe.
Anyway, it's the one with Schmidt Auctions and Penguin Boss.
Yeah.
So yeah, go back and watch that. I know that the feedback we got on that one was it was, if not the funniest, one of the funniest.
Yeah, that's been a good one. Just check out Johnny. He's a classic.
Maybe we just needed to be a little uncomfortable for, maybe that's YouTube gold, right?
I mean,
a whole lot of uncomfortable going on.
I mean, obviously, I would encourage, if you're a new watcher, encourage you to watch all our old episodes, but especially the ones with guests. I mean, the guests are definitely the standout episodes.
Oh man! And Johnny said we never had anyone die on the episode.
No, I was worried about it.
Oh yeah, poor Lily.
I was like, "Where's she going?" So
we had a little bit of everything in that episode: technical glitches, people like on the verge of death, and
that's just stuff you can't plan out. We could have planned that, and it wouldn't have turned out as good as it did. I mean, when the bag soaks through and falls out everywhere the way it's just perfect. But gentlemen, I have enjoyed 2024 immensely, hanging out with you guys and putting this Resell podcast together. Keep it going strong in 2025. I'm glad that we are now over 200 subscribers. That's been a blessing for us for sure. We want to keep it going, and hopefully this time next year, who knows where we'll be. So
I hear once you get to 200, the next 99,800 just fly by.
Well, hang on, because we're getting ready to be on a ride. Of course, we don't be on a Dollywood ride. It stops at the top, right?
We need to at least get to 210, so I feel a little better about not backtracking below.
You don't want to go back in time, do you? 199 for the next 3 months.
We have our 200 sub live with 197 subscribers. Like, well, when we scheduled it, we did.
Great. Yeah.
So I remember when Lizzie and I first started our YouTube channel, we had like 325 subs, and somebody did a story on IG, and it was like, who's your favorite YouTubers? And it was like Harry Tornado, and it had their number of subs, and then it was like Commonwealth Picker had their number of subs, and for some reason, instead of thinking, they thought we had 324,000 subs when we only had 324. So we were like on their list of like top 5 reseller YouTube channels, but we literally had 300 subs. But they put 324,000.
Wow.
I was like, wow, that's some.
We still need to do a show with all 3 of the spouses at one time, sometime.
Yeah, we have not got that one finished yet.
Listen, when I come to Knoxville, don't use me to put things up in the attic that you guys just can't do anymore. And
Now listen, son.
Stuart's just like, hey, Wes, send them to my house after. I got the Christmas tree that needs to go up.
We've got some chores over here, and then I'm going to send you to the other dad's house.
Yeah, the 3 of us can get together, and Wes and I can talk about all our ailments. And
The question is, do we get together in 2025?
It will happen. I will promise that I will come to the other side of the mountain in 2025.
I think we talked about April or May, maybe. I mean, y'all are welcome to stay at our house. We have extra bedrooms with all the kids being gone. So
we need to make it happen, boys.
Yeah, once we get through winter, we'll pop on over.
All right. Well, I guess that's a wrap on 2024.
Man.
Well, that is all the time that we have today on episode 47, gentlemen. We're closing out 2024.
Wow. Yeah, it's hard to believe that 2024 is over. Looking forward to 2025 and what's in store for the Finders Flippers podcast. I think we mentioned earlier we were at like 30 subscribers back in April, and here we are at 200. We'll have a live coming up here in a couple of weeks, probably Sunday night actually. So just keep an eye on the channel. And thanks. Yeah, thanks to everybody who's subscribed, and can't wait to see what next year holds.
Well, gentlemen, I wish you all the best in the new year, and happy reselling to you and everybody that subscribed. Thank you all so much.
If you're watching this, come see me on Whatnot on January the 4th, I think it is. January 3rd, 1 o'clock on a Friday. I'm going to be doing all this cool ephemera I found at the farmhouse. So, hey, nothing wrong with plugging yourself every once in a while. So, Happy New Year. You can come see me on Whatnot.
Happy New Year, guys.